LeBron James is gone. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. Let's have a conversation. LeBron James is gone. For all my Laker fans out there that are in a bad mood, you have every right to be in a bad mood. We always knew that this day was going to come, but I didn't expect it to happen today. I didn't expect it to happen the way it happened. And I always expected LeBron was going to play his last game in a Laker uniform, to be able to have that farewell tour and sign off as a Laker. We're not going to get that. What we got was a statement pulled out saying that, hey, listen, I'm going to go in another direction. I don't want to hold y'all up. So go ahead and make your plans in free agency without me because I've decided to play somewhere else. And for a lot of other Laker fans that didn't support LeBron, everybody's happy. Everybody's cheering. Oh, LeBron was cancer. We got to get him out. All this other stuff. But I want to talk about my appreciation for LeBron James. I remember what it was like when the Lakers were so bad. They were bad for 6 straight years, didn't make the playoffs. It was the longest stretch in their history for being that bad. Nobody wanted to come here. I remember LaMarcus Aldridge, they had some horrible ass recruitment pitch. It was so bad that they had to ask him to come back to do another one. The Lakers were a laughingstock. Couldn't get Kobe Bryant, anybody to support him in his last days as a Laker. And LeBron James in 2018 decided to take that leap and come back. Year later, we win a championship. So my particular appreciation for LeBron James will always be that. My favorite team, one of my favorite players of all time. The marriage started. We win a championship. It's been 8 great years. What is LeBron's legacy as a Laker? It's a champion. He's a 7-time All-NBA. He's one of the greatest players of all time. He will have his jersey retired in Staples. Crypto, excuse me. I still call it Staples. He's going to be one of the first players, if not, on a select few list of guys that can be able to go to a different location, win a championship, get your jersey retired. I don't know if there's anybody else that got 3 jerseys retired for 3 different teams. So am I mad that LeBron is gone? Yeah, I'm mad he's gone. But I'm not mad he's gone because I think that the Lakers were going to have a shot. I'm just mad because I knew what he meant to revitalizing this franchise. I know what it's like to lose and lose terribly without LeBron James. I know what that feeling feels like. And with Luka and Austin, is it the same? Nah. They're good players, but there's a difference when you have a generational talent coming to your building. Now, the book is still open in regards to what we're going to get from Luka and Austin. But for LeBron James, that chapter's closed. And I really don't understand the problem that anti-LeBron fans have here. Like, we're all Laker fans. And for Laker fans to be like, oh, I can finally come back and root for the team. LeBron is gone. Like, you don't celebrate a guy that gave us all here. Every superstar waves their power in their organization. LeBron is no different. Kobe Bryant did it. So I don't understand the hate. I don't understand how people can just put their trivial issues aside and support the team that he was on for 8 years. Like, it's so crazy that the guy that most Laker fans idolize, Kobe Bryant, was angling for LeBron James to be a Laker for a very long time. But yet that's not the guy that you want to support. So I will always have a fondness of LeBron James in purple and gold. It'll never change how I feel about him. He won a championship. Nobody talks about Tom Brady's COVID championship, but you always hear about the NBA bubble Mickey Mouse title. Like, it's corny. That type of mindset is corny. And whatever fans like to talk about that stuff, shame on y'all. Because you sound like you don't know ball. So that's the LeBron James part of it. What do I think the impacts are going to be after LeBron leaves? Massive. Massive. You know, he said in a press, or I think it was a statement by Rich Paul saying that he wants to have fun and compete. I think that's a bit of a shot from Rich Paul saying that he doesn't believe the Lakers can be able to compete anymore. Felt like his client was being disrespected since Luka got there. And there's some truth to that. I believe that you can be able to appease to two stars. You don't have to necessarily isolate one and neglect the other. I don't believe that you should highlight one and neglect the other. There's no reason why you couldn't be able to put both of them in a room and make sure that they both realize and understand what the plan is going forward. So we'll see. We'll see exactly what they plan to do. Let's go ahead and now move on to what the Lakers are planning to do in free agency, because I have zero confidence in Rob Pelinka. I laid out on my social media in regards to all of the moves that he's botched, all of the stuff that he's done as a general manager and a president that has not worked out for these Lakers. The drafting of Dalton Connect, he's been a flop. The misfiring trade for Mark Williams that you should have probably did. The fact that you did not want to attach more draft capital to get a Walker Kessler a couple of years back, and now he's a restricted free agent and you got to pay him more. Or if it's a signing trade, you might have to give up more. We're all about the Gabe Vincent deal, Kendrick Nunn deal, the Jake LaRavia deal. The list goes on and on. I could be able to say how many bad deals he's given out. The player option that you gave Dennis Schroeder and that he walked for nothing. Marcus Smart is about to be out the door for nothing. Luke Kennard is already out the door. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. The fact that you didn't want to sign back Alex Caruso due to cap purposes, taxes. You didn't want to pay the tax with the Lakers. The fact that you blew up the championship team and didn't run it back. When every team in the NBA now has the blueprint that the Lakers had in 2020. That's what every team looks like now. The drafting of Jalen Hood-Schifino. How'd that work out for you? Everything that I've talked about have been failures. The Russell Westbrook trade that everybody wants to talk. Oh, well, LeBron and AD wanted that. Okay. That's fair. But as a general manager, what was your job to be able to do? You should have been able to tell them no. Tell them that this is not a deal that works for us. Go get the Buddy Hield deal because you weren't giving up a lot. And now you can be able to add more because you're not giving up so much on that deal. But instead, you have to go get Russell Westbrook. It was an absolute disaster. And then you have to trade him and attach draft capital to be able to get rid of him. So now our 2027 pick is top 4 protected to the Jazz, it's almost guaranteed to go to Utah next year. You gave up a second-round pick for Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard is on his way to Phoenix on a 2-year deal worth $13 million. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't give Luke Kennard a 1+1 just like Phoenix did? So the draft capital that you gave up for Luke Kennard that helped you win that Houston series is now dead because you couldn't re-sign him. So I'm all good for moving on from LeBron. I'm a Lakers fan first. He's done his time in regards to being a great player, and he'll still try to want to compete somewhere else. And I appreciate him for all the service, for all the things that he did for us, right? I appreciate him for his services here. But now it's time to build the Lakers. And do I trust Rob Pelinka to do that? No, I don't. Because at the end of the day, Luke Kennard's out the door. Marcus Smart's out the door. Rui Hachimura probably is going to be out the door because I'm hearing that there's rumors that he might go to the Spurs. Marcus Smart's heading to Houston. So where are the moves? Dean Wade is gone. So all these guys that were linked to the Lakers, gone. So let's go ahead and go pull this up. I saw this floating around here. So it says, according to Mark Stein, the growing anticipation league-wise that the Lakers ultimately secure the commitments of Toronto's free agent, Sandro Mamu. We know his last name. I'm not going to even pronounce that. And Philadelphia's free agent, Quentin Grimes, who's still pursuing their top target, Walker Kessler. So is Mamu and Grimes needle movers? No. Mamu's not a starter. So if he's going to be one of your backups, then you have to land on Walker Kessler. And is that possible? It's a restricted free agent. A restricted free agent has not changed teams since 2020. Restricted free agency is pretty much a death sentence for a team that's trying to acquire the talent. So we're going to see what happens, but I don't see that Utah is going to give him up smoothly like that. I just don't see that happening. So how are you going to build this team? You have 2 stars or 1 superstar and 1 really, really good player. You gave the really, really good player a max contract when that probably shouldn't have been the thing. But you got scared into giving him a max contract because Detroit was rumored to be offering him a max deal. And what you ended up doing is that you shot yourself in the foot because you offered him a low ball contract that he was just like, nah, I don't want that. And then, okay, well, we'll just give you the max. Why wouldn't you start at like 35, 36? I'm sure if you would have started at 36, 36 and a half, I don't see Austin turning that down. I see Austin saying, it's a pretty good deal for me. I'll take that. Allows the team flexibility, a little bit of wiggle room to be able to still be able to make some, marginal moves here and there. But instead, you go ahead and max him out. So I'm curious to see how Rob Pelinka is going to really put this roster together because I don't have confidence in him. I never did. You had Luka that dropped into his lap. He didn't do anything. You had Magic Johnson put the framework out there for Anthony Davis before he actually left. It's the same deal that you gave to New Orleans. So I'm trying to figure out what is going to give Laker fans the confidence that Rob Pelinka can be able to put this together. 2020? It's not 2020 anymore. CBA rules are completely different. You can be able to do a lot more things back then. Since the CBA has been constructed, Rob Pelinka has done a damn thing. He hasn't done anything. So for me to feel confident, nah, I'm not confident at all. Because we're going to go get Sandro Mamu Shkilishvili, whatever the hell his name is, Quentin Grimes. That doesn't move the needle because you're losing players. You lost Rui. You lost Marcus Smart. You lost Kennard. You're not adding to your depth. You have to replace, which means that now you're going to have to probably rely on guys like Dalton Connect. You're going to have to start relying on guys like Vando. You're going to have to rely on the kids like Cam Carr, maybe Brawny. You think that that's going to be enough to convince Luka not to opt out of his deal in a couple years? And for the Lakers management, Mark Walter, you have to be watching, because at the end of the day, time's ticking on Rob Pelinka's job. If he doesn't give you a competitive team, for a team that's won back-to-back 50 games in back-to-back seasons, back-to-back 50-win seasons, you're going to take a 2 or 3 steps back. That's what you're going to sign up for? That's what you're comfortable with? I don't think a lot of Laker fans are going to be comfortable with that. Maybe the ones that are anti-LeBron and they're okay with just being bad because they just want to get rid of that. That doesn't speak for every Laker fan out there. So my biggest concern is, what now? If you don't get Walker Kessler, what then? If you don't get Jalen Duren, what then? If you can't secure Peyton Watson, what then? Rob Pelinka's job should be up right now, because clearly everybody kind of understood that maybe the writing would have been on the wall, or the writing was on the wall for LeBron to leave. Clearly looks like this dude has no plan. You would have thought that there'd be some type of flurry of moves. Okay, LeBron is out. Let's go ahead and go figure this out. Let's do this, and this. This is what I got. 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 We have seen nothing but departures. So if this was the plan to be able to have optionality, you're failing. Rob Pelinka is failing at his job. And all he's done over the last 6 years in totality is fail. So I'm sure LeBron saw the writing on the wall. You guys don't want me anymore. I'm no longer priority. You want to go ahead and go sign Austin Reeves over me. You want to go ahead and give Luka the plans for what it is. I'm not in the plans. You're not talking to me. And then, you reach out last minute or whatever the hell it was. If this is the plan that Rob Pelinka has for the Lakers might be looking at those 6 years again. They just might be staring down the barrel. The worst stretch in Lakers history for those 6 years. Yeah, you got Luka. But in order for Luka to be great, he needs a certain type of team around him. Rim running bigs, perimeter shooters, perimeter defenders, and athletic wings. I don't see any of that on the Lakers right now. I don't see any of that in free agency, because this was probably one of the worst classes to be able to try to start fresh from. But because he just realized that, LeBron James's contract is going to be off the books in 2026. Yeah, let's aim for 2026. There was no plan. So we're going to see how this unfolds. But it looks terrible right now. So, LeBron, salute. Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for everything that you did in the Lakers uniform. Thank you for being able to revitalize this franchise. Real Laker fans are never going to forget it, because without you coming here and taking the chance to come here, we would never have AD, and then we would never have the chance to be able to trade for Luka. All of that was possible because LeBron James got here. So I want people to Never forget that. No matter how much you might hate the dude or you hated him as a Laker or whatever it is, just understand that if it wasn't for LeBron James, you wouldn't have Luka Doncic. If it wasn't for LeBron James giving Austin Reeves the confidence to be able to keep pushing and building him up and having that respect for him, we probably wouldn't see Austin Reeves be the guy that he is today. Now, I'm not going to put all of his success on LeBron. Of course not. Austin Reeves has proven that he's a really good basketball player. But Austin Reeves will tell you himself how much LeBron's mentorship meant to him. So, clock's ticking, Rob. Let's see what you got. The era of Luka has begun. There's no more clutch to make excuses. There's no more LeBron to be able to be the beating stick and the reason for why people hate the Lakers or make excuses or as to why they're losing. You can be able to blame LeBron for everything. He's no longer here. He's no longer your problem anymore. Like I see a lot of detractors are saying. He's not our problem anymore. So I want to see where the criticism is going to go. Who the criticism falls on when Rob Pelinka is the one picking the groceries exclusively now. Although it's always been the case with obviously collaboration from your stars. But now, where does the blame go if things do not go well? So share your thoughts in the comments. Will the Lakers be able to bounce back and make a splash and put together a pretty decent roster going forward? Or are they going to strike out in free agency, be the laughing stock of the league, and Rob Pelinka's job will officially be on the hot seat? Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'll see you.
Every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.